And coming back. So the main idea is about the 3 different types of deserts. First, hot and dry deserts are the hottest deserts, and they are not full of sand. They have very rocky soils, and they don't go very deep. They don't have very much water. An example of a hot and dry desert is the Sahara Desert in Africa. Also, there are cool coastal deserts. These are deserts that are found near the oceans. One of them is the Atacama Desert that is found near Chile, and this soil has a lot of salt because of the ocean. Another fact is the third type of desert is called the Semi-Arid Desert. These are deserts that don't get as hot, and they also don't get as cold. They usually don't have any water in their soil at all. So that's an example of what a main idea could be for that chapter. But we are going to be doing ours for beating the heat and going without water. This is really looking at adaptations of different animals. Really cool. Right away, I can't start reading. That is a jackrabbit. Jackrabbits are super cool animals. Their huge ears help them stay cool in the desert, which you'll get into. You'll find out why and how when you read. Not all deserts are hot, but the ones that are hot can be hard places to live. Many desert animals have ways to beat the heat. Jackrabbits are nocturnal. That means they sleep during the day or are awake at night. They rest in the shade under bushes during the day, but they also have another way to keep cool. Their huge ears radiate heat away from their bodies. And I'm going to kind of go back to that word radiate after I'm finish this next paragraph. Turkey vultures have another way to live in the heat. Scientists discovered their bald heads radiate heat also. The wind cools their heads when they fly. This cools down the entire bird. So radiate means like sends out, spreads out. Think about this. During the winter here in Minnesota, we wear stocking caps, like winter hats. That traps heat in our bodies. Because even though some of us, that have hair, not everybody has hair on top of their heads, but hair can trap some of that heat, but not super well. That's why we wear hats, though. It traps heat in. If we take our hats off during the winter, our heads lose heat really, really quickly. And that's actually what the jackrabbit's ears do and what a turkey vulture's head does. It lets heat escape out of the bodies so they don't overheat. It also helps that jackrabbits are nocturnal and that they really are only out during the daytime or nighttime. Lizards called Gila monsters stay out of the sun. They spend almost all of their time in holes. They only leave to get food or warm up when it's cold. They can store fat in their tails. This means they don't need to eat very often. Gila monsters can survive months without food. So that's a pretty cool thing that Gila monsters can do. Now I'm going to read the second chapter. And I'm going to use this whole thing to write my summary. Going without water. Water is very important for life, but all deserts are very dry. So how do desert animals live in these places? They have adaptations and behaviors that help them survive. Fennecs are tiny foxes that live in the Sahara Desert. They can go a long time without drinking. Most of their water comes from eating fruits and leaves. Their kidneys are especially adapted for the desert. They can store water for long periods of time. This keeps the Fennecs from losing the water in their bodies. So their kidneys are basically like water bottles. They drink water, and like in a human, our body, like our kidneys, process that water. It sends the water out of our bodies. It doesn't really hold on to it very long. But Fennecs, their kidneys, hold on to it as long as they need it. Kangaroo rats live in North America. They got their name because they hop like kangaroos. They are not related to real kangaroos, though. Kangaroo rats can survive without water. Their bodies turn dry seeds they eat into water. Also, it is humid in their underground holes. They take in water from the air they breathe. So they actually don't need to drink any water at all. So I'm going to stop the video here. I want you thinking about what the main idea is along with those 3 key details.